Welcome in, Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I didn't know. You know what, Rick? I didn't even have you. Let me crank you up, Rick. There we go.
That explains a lot right there.
Who was that old country singer? Turn it up some. Was that Trace Adkins? I think it was. Do you listen to country?
Well, yeah, but that's before my time.
One of my favorite country songs. Country music singers have always been a real close family. But lately, some of my
See that blank look on my face?
You don't know who that is? Have disowned a few others than me.
I know the song.
Couldn't
tell you who sang it.
Oh, it's an old family tradition. They get on me, they want to know Hank. Hank Williams Jr., family tradition. One of the best back in the day. You saw the homework, Rick. I have to mention it again. I'm so excited this week.
I commented on your homework, too. It was one of the quotes for the movie.
You did a movie quote?
Yeah.
I put on movie Downsizing. It's with Mark Wahlberg where they shrink everybody.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
Kind of a, almost said cute, kind of a cute movie. And Bridget said, can you please get on the phone and call Billy and ask him for some more homework? Because she wasn't a fan. So
Was or was not a fan?
Was not a fan of that movie too much. Sweetheart, I love you, but sometimes she's so sweet to me that I feel like sometimes she just does it because she loves me. And it's okay, sweetheart. If you don't like those movies, you just tell me and I'll turn it off.
Have you seen the movie Mediocrity?
I have not.
That's your homework. Isn't
Idiocracy.
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 Yeah.
No, is that the one from like where they grow fields with Gatorade and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen parts of that, and that movie is very idiotic.
It's kind of sad because I think we can see how it's happening to us.
Yeah. Well, speaking of today, speaking of plants and Gatorade, for all of you botany fans out there this morning, today is National Houseplant Appreciation Day.
So take your houseplant out for a beer.
Yeah, take the old boy out.
Give it some Gatorade, see how it does.
Give it some Gatorade. You know what you should do today? Poor little plants. Just give them a little Miracle Grow. You know, give them a treat.
You probably should.
So
That's your next errand, I guess. You need to go to Home Depot.
We have Miracle
or-
Grow, and I gave him some about a month ago. So
did y'all ever have a garden by any chance?
I did.
Gardening?
Growing up.
We
I'm
always
old.
had my dad had a Troy built. Man, this is going to get so, you know what's going to happen. I'm just going to leave this here today. I lost my clip at New Waverly last night. I normally take the clip off. Folks don't normally see this wire, or as my grandmother would say, war. They normally don't see this war because I throw it around my back, and then I got a little binder clip.
Yeah.
And because
and
what
clip
was
it to your collar.
Yeah, and what was happening was whenever I first started the show, through like the first 50 episodes, I'd always fidget around and move that wire behind me because I just get annoyed with it being on the front of me. Well, now that's going to start happening again because I don't have that binder clip, Kaye.
I bet we can come up with one.
So if anybody this morning wants to bring a binder clip, you know, those black binder clips to the studio, boy, we'd love to have that. It'll just take a whole load off of my shoulders.
Might need
this
a
morning.
collection of 2 or 3 of them.
Just have them here and we'll be good. Well, we want to welcome you in. Happy Wednesday. We got a great show lined up today. Karen Altom, Marshall Altom be hopping in the studio a little bit from Postcards Magazine and also with Altom Consulting. They are putting on, they aren't, but they are sponsoring 3 Heath Brothers coming to town. And so we're going to learn more about that concert coming up. We're giving away tickets completely free of charge here on Hello Huntsville. Gave away 2 of them yesterday to our good friend, the Horn family. So they are going. And we got a special keyword for those tickets because we don't want to give them away to people that won't go. And you know how that goes sometimes. I used to give away basketball tickets all the time. Then no one would ever show up. When I was at the radio station, they'd give us a stack every year, and I'd give them away, and you know, people wouldn't come. So I quit giving them to people unless they told me that they were going to come. So it doesn't make sense to give away things as a prize if people aren't going to use it. So
That's true.
So we
But
have.
if you want to give away one of those Cafe Texan cards, you know, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I knew you didn't, Rick. And, you know, we still have a little handful of them this month, thanks to Lane and the great friends, Vance Howard over there at Cafe Texan. Because you said it, Rick, I'm going to give it, because you're here today.
I can't win one today.
Because you're here today. We will be giving away Cafe Texan gift card as well on the show. $30 will get you a nice breakfast over there at Cafe Texan. Or if you're Rick, it'll get you quite a few breakfasts because all Rick has is bacon.
It's the best bacon you've ever had.
How much does that bacon set you back for? I
don't know. She pays for it.
About like $6 bacon, you think? Maybe
it can't
somewhere?
be too expensive.
I thought of that. I thought about that movie. We're well past Christmas, but the
Christmas bacon.
the
I
one
remember
with
that movie.
the can't think of it. The most one of the best Christmas movies ever. The National Lampoon's Christmas. Is that what it is? I just can't think
Christmas
of
Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. Yeah, and you know his brother, the freeloader, is well, how much that gonna set you back for? You know, so I always wanted to use that phrase, so I finally got to use it today.
Wow.
Well, you can go in and ask for Rick's bacon and
It's actually on the menu.
Is it called Rick's Bacon?
It's Rick's
get a
Bacon.
double order of bacon.
It's really called Rick's Bacon.
If you ask for Rick's Bacon, they probably know what you're talking about.
Okay, well there you go.
We challenge somebody to do that.
I don't want to outdo you, but back in my rowdy days at the local establishment in Georgetown, it was actually a biker place, but they welcomed. It was family friendly up until about 8 o'clock at night, and then it went downhill. It was a great place. So folks that ran it they're good people, and he passed away. His wife still runs it, but they're good. They're really good folks. And but I'll never forget, there was always a specific drink that I would get there, and they ended up naming it after me.
Really?
And I didn't know if I was proud
Was it
of
a
that.
Rob Roy?
Yeah, I can't really repeat. It was just called a Hipp drink, Hipp. And, you know, it was and I hadn't been to that place in years and years. We went in there for a burger. This was, probably 3-4 years ago. And keep in mind that this drink had got put into that system probably in, 2010, maybe, somewhere around there. So I'm starting to date a little bit, go back, 14 years. And I went in there, it's like 4 years ago, and I was asking one of the guys there. I said, "Hey, y'all got a new point of sale system?" And they had a whole new point of sale system. And I said, "Can you search inventory on that thing pretty easy?" He said, "There's just a touch button." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Type in Hipp in there." He goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, just type it in for me." And he did. And I would be flabbergasted. That thing was still in there after all these years. And so a while back, just got a wild hair, and I called someone. They said it's no longer in the system, though. I guess because it hadn't been ordered in a long time. So, and I'm thankful. That was a door in my life that needed closed, and the good Lord said it's time to close that door, and you don't need a drink named after you, Rob. So unless it was like a soda, Dr. Pepper, that would have been all right.
Dr. Rob?
Yeah, Dr. Roberto. So, well, hey, here we are, episode 189. We're one away from 190. I don't know what's so special about 190.
We're 11 away from 200.
11 away from 200. You guys had a celebration for us on the 100th episode. You brought in a cake. In fact, I think I still have that serving spoon over here somewhere. Maybe on the 200 episode, I'll give it back to you. But we are here. We want to welcome you in, friends. Thanks for being a part of the show this morning. As always, we appreciate you. Big shout out to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers for sponsoring our studio, for all of your jewelry needs. Go by and see him. We'll put an article up on HelloHuntsvilleTX.com a little bit later today about Elliot's Jewelers. Also, a big thank you to Paul Oley of the Gallery for custom photography and framing. Paul Oley will take care of you. And, of course, on a Wednesday, we would not be able to be here and bring you the good happening in Huntsville without our great friends, Kaye and Rick Boehning of Tomorrow's
That's
Promise Montessori Schools. I always say Kaye first. You know, it's a thing. For me, it's the little things that I think are important. Like when you're talking to somebody, you don't ever say me and, because I kind of feel like you're putting importance on yourself first. It's just something someone in business years ago told me, because I'd said, oh, well, hey, me and John are here. And he goes, wait a minute.
It's John and I.
Yeah, he said, John and I. And I said, he goes, and I know you don't mean this, but it comes across that you're trying to put your name in front of someone else. He said, it's just a respect thing, and it's the little things that you'll think. And so ever since then, I was like 18 when I was told that, back when I had my IT company, and I never forgot it. And so
it's also proper English.
So yeah, and then I also learned if you're addressing a group of people and there is a
Why
lady.
would you address a group of people?
Well, just a group like on Facebook. If I'm going to comment.
Why would you address them?
No, address. Yeah. If you're going to address a few people, Facebook algorithm probably just shut us down, Rick. Thanks. One day it did shut us down. Do you remember I told you?
Yeah.
I called you. For some reason, I just have to get this out of here real quick. It was funny. I asked Rick if he had taken off his shirt during the show, and he goes, no, why? And I said, well, Facebook flagged us for partial nudity one time. I said, y'all's algorithm got it. Man, they banned our Hello Huntsville account. They restricted it. It said we've been banned for 48 hours.
Wow.
I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to get us unbanned. It was scary because that's how we run our show.
Yeah.
And I said, man, this is an inspirational show. We would never have anything remotely close to that. And so I had finally found some backdoor support portal by the grace of the good Lord. And I told them, I said, you guys, this is ridiculous. Tell me where was the nudity on the show. And so they replied back and said after about an hour, everything was lifted. And all I got was, we're sorry, our algorithm got it wrong. And I was like, yeah, you got it dead wrong, buddy. And there may be a class action coming up. Because, you know, we lost about $13 of revenue.
Oh, my.
For those 48 hours we were down. So that could have got me 2 Rick's Bacons.
That's right.
Well, again, welcome in. Let us know that you're out there this morning, friends. And if you can, right away, help us out. Do a big favor. Folks have always asked me, what can we do to help with the show? Of course, watching every day is a big thing. But if you can hit that like button, if you're on Facebook, hit share. If you can do that for us now, that would be greatly appreciated. You don't know how far that goes and really increases our engagement. Because there's friends on your friend list that, you know, have no idea about this show. It seems like every day we're starting to get more traction with people that said, I've never seen this show before.
Really?
So, and I'm thankful for that. You know, it's good. I don't ever want to get to a point to where we go on and everybody's heard of the show. We want it to continuously grow as we promote the good happening.
You mean there's
here in
people
Huntsville.
out there who've never seen the heartthrob of Huntsville?
And they have not seen your nephew. Is that right? Did he get a lot of calls after that show?
He said there was a lot of engagement on his timeline.
Well, there you go. So, you know,
Well, he also shared it with everybody.
Yeah, he shared it with everybody in 3 counties.
that may have been why I saw our views. You know, they kind of steadily kind of trickle up, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, and then it goes back down like this, kind of like a heartbeat. You know, what is a heartbeat on an EKG machine? Doop. It was just one though, doop, and then it flatlined again. If you ever go to the hospital and you hear doop, it's probably time to. Oh man,
Code Blue.
Code Blue. There was something I wanted to tell you guys that happened to me Monday at church at our staff meeting at First Baptist. I turned white as a ghost. It's actually really scary. I've mentioned before I have this magnetic device in my esophagus, and it's for acid reflux. It's called a Lynx device, Linx. And in fact, several months ago, I had to get an MRI just to check a few things. I was having this, I think y'all remember, I was having this weird tingling, and it just didn't go away for like a month. And some folks said, you need to go get an MRI. And so I went and got an MRI, but I had to go to like the old school MRI machine because they rate them as Teslas. It's the magnetic power of the MRI.
Right.
Well, I can't be over like a 0.2 Tesla. Well, here's the problem. MRI machines nowadays are like 13 Tesla because they're getting really detailed. I still have to use one of them old fuzzy ones that don't really tell a whole lot.
So it's a guy with 2 magnets standing on the other side of you?
Yeah. And then there's another guy that goes, wow, wow. And then if his voice changes, you know something's wrong. Man, if I was a nurse, I'd get fired because, I don't know. I'm a jokester, and I know that's nothing to joke about, but I just started thinking, one time I was getting what do you call it? An ultrasound. I was getting an ultrasound of my liver. I've had all sorts of scans in my life. I had an ultrasound of my liver, and I'll never forget the nurse tells the doctor, she goes, oh, or the I forget what the radiologist or whatever they call them. They're sitting in there, and all of a sudden they're moving this thing, and they stop and they push it real hard, and then something's on the screen, and they go, oh. And I said, man, my heart rate started going up. And then they go behind this little curtain and start talking. And then she comes back and starts doing stuff again. And I was like, what does the "oh" mean? Oh, nothing, sir. Everything's because they're not supposed to tell you anything. Those radiologists. Turns out the "oh" was a water-filled cyst. There was nothing wrong. It was my kidney. That's what it was. My liver was my kidney. It had a water-filled cyst. Well, I guess she was new and she saw some little bubble on the screen and flipped out, and it flipped me out. And then I get a call. We're gonna have to send this and make sure everything's out. I was like 24. I was nervous, man.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, the MRI. Here's what happened. I have this Lynx device, 0.2 Tesla, so I can't get into a big MRI. But this piece of metal is in my esophagus, and sometimes if I eat a lot of French fries, they get stuck in there. It's the way it works is you swallow, and there's this wave of muscles down your esophagus into your stomach. That's how your whole digestive system works from the beginning. And I'd ate a sandwich. I'd ate some broccoli. I ate, Clay, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I ate about half a bag of those dill pickle Skittles. Maybe that was it. But, man, normally, like, if I feel it real tight right there, it kind of hurts for just a minute, and then there's this tremendous relief because you feel it actually push down and go away. So I thought, okay, everything's good, right? Well, it never went away. And for 15 minutes, I'm sitting there thinking maybe I'm having like a heart attack or something. But I knew it wasn't because I'd just eaten. But it was that same feeling. There's Irma waving at us. She didn't even honk. Thanks, Irma.
Wow.
And long story short is I ended up like coughing up. It wasn't the food, but it was like this. I was joking around with the lady at church. She said, it sounds like you coughed up a hairball. It was like a mucus ball. And it was the weirdest thing. And the lady that works the front of the church, she was about to call the doctor. She's like, do you need to go to the doctor? I said, why? She goes, you're white as a ghost. I said, yeah, I'm like hurting. So all is well. I just wanted to share that with you this morning.
All is well?
All is well. Everything's good. So what's happening, Academy? Things are coming along. I know you've had several miracles popping up. We said it's going to take a miracle, and those miracles are starting to happen this morning.
Yeah, they hooked up the air conditioners, heating units yesterday, and they tested 6, but the electric wasn't connected to 3 of them. So 3 are working, and we'll find out about the other 3 today, and then the other 2 that's on the little building. So that was one of the things I've been praying about because those units are $15,000 a piece.
Oh, my goodness,
and I did not want to have to replace any of them.
No, and when we moved in, back when I had my IT company in Georgetown, we had moved from this little old building downtown to another building they had just recently renovated. And I'll never forget, we get in there, and a year after we get in, the AC quits working. And I called the landlord, and I said, hey, man, what's up with these AC units? We've only been here, a year, and this building apparently. He goes, oh, they're new. They're new. There's nothing wrong with them. I said, well, obviously there is because I had a guy go up there, and the coil was completely frozen. And I said, and furthermore, he goes up there, and he found a date on those units that said they were about 22 years old. So we had to front the cost of that because in the lease, and this is something I learned in commercial leases that you have to be very careful about, is read defined lines because a lot of times you are responsible for the heating and cooling. And the disclosure is, well, if you don't change the filters, it's going to cause, well, you know what, the filters, it's not going to cause a unit to fail like that dramatically.
22 years has a factor in there too.
Yeah, so 20, that's exactly what it was. And to replace the coil, we had a guy replace the coil. We had to pay like $6,000 just for that coil in that commercial AC unit. Then 2 years later, it went out again. And I told our landlord, I said, we're not paying again. And so he goes, well, if you sign a 5-year extension, we'll put in a new one. And we did because we were there a long time. So we signed it, and I said, well, if you lock in the price and don't jack, we started out paying $1,200 a month in rent. Well, we went from $600 a month on the square to $1,200 in this new building. Back then, that was a lot. By the time we left that building in 2016, we were paying like $3,200 a month in rent. So, cost of things definitely goes up. But
we're both aware of that.
yeah, I mentioned all that, so I'm going to say, Lord, please put your hand of protection over these AC units for Kaye, and let's make sure that they're all right. So, but it's good things happening at Tomorrow's Promise. You can find out more information online. tpms.life is where you go. They are the education experts here in Huntsville, and we're excited to get Braylon back in. Marshall Altom's in the house. We got little Caden over there at Catherine. I was afraid I was going to wake Marshall up this morning. He may have already been long gone. I'll have to ask him later where he hides out early in the morning. But we dropped off Caden, and then we're excited to have Braylon joining you guys here pretty soon back at Tomorrow's Promise. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and she misses it. She always says friends. That's her favorite word now. So when we go to church, she goes, friends, and she remembers her friends at Tomorrow's Promise. So
good.
We'll get her back over there as quickly as possible. Bridget starts on the 22nd, and Kaye, thank you, because you said you need to get in the routine. And the routine yesterday was not good. So today I actually showed up 2 minutes early. I didn't want to walk in 2 minutes early, so I waited a little bit. But you're right. It's really, I was worried that Caden wouldn't adjust very well, but he seems a lot happier. He's happy, smiling, didn't cry, hasn't cried at all. And the only thing, and maybe you can entertain me on this, Kaye, Braylon, when she wakes up from a nap, she is livid. She screams when she wakes up from a nap. Have you ever heard of this? And I don't know what it is.
Sometimes they're having nightmares, but a lot of times they don't exactly know where they're at when they wake up. Kind of startles them.
That probably makes sense because yesterday I had went home a little bit early and went home and grabbed. Well, I say early. I grabbed a late lunch actually, and Bridget said, "Hey, do you mind putting Braylon down for a minute?" And so usually, if we put her down or whatever, I'll lay with her for a minute, and then she dozes off, and I just passed out. I was so exhausted. And she woke me up laughing. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Hi, Daddy." And I was like, "What?" And I looked, I was like, "Oh, man, I fell asleep." She was not angry because I was sitting there next to her. So, anyways, good things.
They wake up and there's nobody there, and especially if they went to sleep and you were there, then, there's that fear that you're not there.
Awesome. Well, hey, one quick thing before we have the Altoms on here and highlighting the 3 Heath Brothers concert coming up. Really excited about that. We're giving away some more tickets today. We'll have that here in just a few moments. There's a lot of good happening here in our community, and we want you to be engaged. So make sure that you support our local businesses. Kaye, I wanted to mention that because there's been a lot of chatter on social media. I don't like to engage with the negativity. I think that the more that we're around positivity and promote positivity, that good things happen. And I just don't think there's any place in our lives. We just need to push that. We can't deny the circumstance sometimes, but we just need to push that away and look forward to better things. And, it's so important to support small business, especially now more than ever. I was driving by, and there's been a building down the street here that's been 2 or 3 businesses, and I think the latest it was a boot place, and I saw that was gone now, and it says for lease. And those things break my heart, Huntsville. We want to make sure that small businesses is being taken care of and supported here in this community. I know many of you do, but perfect example is my good friend Tyler Fordyce said, let's go grab lunch this week. And you know what? We decided we're going to go over to Sandra's Kitchen and support her business. So I think that's important, Kaye. You've been here for a long time, and you know how important it is to support local business.
I think the statistics are about 50% fail the first year and 80% fail within the first 5 years. And a lot of it has to do with they don't have enough money to start out. Mm-hmm. Or, they think they have to, when they start the business out, they have to make a living off of it before, and they can't reinvest in the business like they need to. And so it's very hard to start something out like that.
It is, and that's why it's so important that we support each other. And friends, I want to encourage you this morning. If you're in need, reach out and ask folks for help. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you don't want to go on social and blast out all of your personal issues, obviously, but Rick does, and those have been made. In fact, we're going to have a new section on the website.
His personal is not enough coffee and not enough bacon. So
it's true.
We're going to have a new section that will be sponsored. We'll talk to Karen. Maybe we'll find a sponsor for this new section. It'll be Rick's Heartbreaks, and you can sponsor this section. It'll be all the news of Rick Boehning here in the community. Rick, that's all right.
Nobody's going to watch that.
Yeah. So,
I probably wouldn't watch that.
the Huntsville After Hours show, that we've been talking about for years. We won't be doing that. Just kidding. Well, hey, I do want to get over. We'll have Karen Marshall here in just a few moments. I want to remind you, January, the keyword this week, all you got to do is text that in on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We're going to give away $30 from our friends from the Cafe Texan today. So, and I've got 2 of those gift cards that need to be picked up.
I'm supposed to get one for Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. You got the one for Rachel then. Yeah. Rachel and Kyle won that one. So.
Where's it at?
It's on the shelf. It's on the prize shelf over there.
Don't say that on the air.
Yeah, I was going to go to Rick and Kaye. But we're giving away another one today. All you got to do is text in again the keyword January. Please put your name on there too, so we know who it is when we call. That is on that Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Also, we are giving away 2 more tickets to the 3 Heath Brothers. The family yesterday, the Horn family, said they wanted to go, and they won them. So congratulations on that. Had a few texts come in. And all you have to do to enter to win those, and please don't enter unless you know Friday at 6:30 that you will be able to go. This Friday, 6:30 at Old Town Theater. We want to pack the house for these young men. And I'll ask Karen in a minute. These are triplets? Are they triplets?
No, there's twins.
They're,
the older brother and twins.
So there's an older. We'll talk more with Karen because they look like triplets. These young men are awesome. And the Horn family, actually, Linda said that they went on YouTube after they heard about it on the show. They didn't know who they were. They looked them up. They said, this music is beautiful. We need more music like this. And so they entered to win. And so if you would like to win 2 tickets, you know what? Let's see. We have 10 of them to give away here on the show. I gave away 2 yesterday. Maybe there's a family that wants to go today, and so we'll give away 4 of them. We'll do that today. We'll give away 4 tickets today, and if you win those, that would be great. So text the keyword brothers also to the same number, 936-339-0139. I'm glad that I didn't call it triplets because that would have been false for the keyword. So we'll give them away 4 tickets going today. So maybe there's a family, Ashley Horton, if you're watching, maybe you guys would like to go. But any families out there, and if you end up winning all 4 and you only have 2, then maybe let us know and we can give those other 2 away again tomorrow. But again, brothers, 936-339-0139. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll hear our national news along with a word from our sponsors. As always, we appreciate tomorrow's promise, 25-plus years of excellence. I updated the logo, okay, because it's been 25-plus. It's been plus, 25-plus years of excellence, and that plus is really Rick. He's the plus.
I'm the little extra.
Yeah, so...
You're a lot extra.
Actually, if it would have said like 25 and then the minus sign, that would have been Rick. So sorry, Rick.
Wow.
We'll step aside. It would not. We'll step aside, take a break. More to come here. Thanks for your engagement today. We'll get to those comments, too, a little bit later on the show. This is your show on a Wednesday. It's Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News. I'm Ryan Daniels. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has prostate cancer, and his recent hospitalization was the result of complications from surgery to treat and cure it. That is the update from the Pentagon, where spokesman Pat Ryder talked to reporters Tuesday.
He's progressed steadily throughout his stay. He continues to make progress, and we anticipate a full recovery, although this can be a slow process.
All this amidst criticism of the fact White House officials and President Biden were not informed of Austin's hospitalization for several days over the holiday break. High winds and heavy rain have prompted the National Weather Service to extend many flood watches and warnings through today. High wind, the main concern along the eastern seaboard. According to PowerOutage.us, there have been more than 600,000 power outages reported in communities up and down the eastern seaboard. Meanwhile, coastal flooding advisories, high wind warnings, and wind advisories are set to last through today in states like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. Donald Trump says a president must be allowed full immunity, even when challenging elections. And he says the charges being brought against him in the federal elections case amount to a political prosecution.
When they talk about threat to democracy, that's your real threat to democracy.
Trump spoke to reporters following his appearance at a federal appeals court hearing Tuesday. 2023 was Earth's hottest year on record, according to the scientific community. The European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service on Tuesday announced that global temperatures last year averaged higher than in any year, dating back to at least 1850. Speaking of hot... Ariana Grande fans will not have to wait much longer for new music from their favorite pop star. This past weekend, she announced that her first single in almost 3 years will drop this Friday. This is USA News.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-362-9337. 800-362-9337. That's 800-362-9337.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are. Third location on Veterans Memorial, coming soon. Visit tpms.life for more information. Education you can trust.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Trendsetters, join me in welcoming Abby from the Color Bar, the ultimate destination for a fresh look in 2024.
Excited to be here, Rob. We're transforming styles with the latest Bellamy extensions and vibrant colors.
Tell us about these game-changing extensions and the vibe for the new year.
With Bellamy's range and our unique color palette, everyone can find their perfect style. Think bold reds and chic pastels for 2024.
And the deals?
We're offering special financing on extensions and a complimentary conditioning with any color service in January.
Abby, how can listeners join in?
Well, that's easy. They can just visit colorbartx.com or call us at 936-439-4972. We're in Huntsville and Conroe, ready to make your year stunning.
Thanks, Abby. Folks, don't wait to reinvent yourself with the Color Bar's Bellamy magic. Welcome back at it, friends. Time now, 8:05 in the morning as you're waking up. Boy, I had a little bit of frost.
A lot of frost.
I had frost on my truck last night at New Waverly when I was leaving a basketball game around 9:30. And I said, it is going to be a little chilly. And it was. And the house got cold. And you don't want the house to get cold when you got babies. And our room, for some reason, burns up. The rest of the house is freezing, so Bridget turned it up even hotter, even though we like it cold, and there you go. So we woke up to felt like 80 degrees and a blistering heat wave in the house this morning. Hey, we are back here, friends. Welcome in. Hey, check this out. The Altom family is here. Mother and son on the show this morning. So Karen Altom, good to see you from Altom Consulting.
Thanks.
And Marshall Altom from Altom, the digital master here in Huntsville now. So it's great to have you guys on. Wanted to highlight this morning briefly a very awesome opportunity for folks. And Karen, you just decided to flip something on us really great for somebody out there today when they text in those Heath Brothers. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we get started, Karen, you guys have been here for so long. You've done such incredible work. We're so gracious to you at Hello Huntsville because you helped lay the foundation with numerous amount of our sponsors, and that means the world to us. We wouldn't be able to bring folks the good news of Huntsville without so many community partners, and we appreciate Karen and Altom Consulting and Postcards Magazine for helping us get started. I remember you and I and Wes, we went over to eat at the Olive Garden.
Yep.
And I was going to go say, let's go here, and then you're like, let's go to the Olive Garden. We went over. I picked like some I don't even think wherever I picked is open anymore, to be honest. But we said, let's go to Olive Garden. You'll like it. And I hadn't been to Huntsville. I hadn't been back in a while, so I didn't know where to go eat.
Well, that day we were looking for somewhere just quiet.
Yeah.
To have a good conversation. So
it was good.
That worked.
Those breadsticks, was it like unlimited breadsticks over there?
I think
I had about 7 of them that day. I'm still digesting the breadsticks from back in March. But well, it's good to have you all on this morning. I briefly wanted to give you an opportunity just to highlight what's happening at Postcards. I know that you're coming on to talk about 3 Heath Brothers, but I'm going to throw a curveball at you because I do want you to highlight Postcards Magazine and what you guys have been up to. So let us know. How are things going?
Things are good. We are gearing up it's always funny this time of year. We never know what month it is. We live in a time of, we're here, we're working on February is going to press at the end of this week, first of next week. We are already in process working on March and April. And so when people go, what's the date? I'm like, I have no clue. I'll say February. No, wait, I have to think. Let me think. So we're well into working on several months out right now. We currently are working on 3 editions. We have the Piney Woods edition, which serves the greater Huntsville area. We have the Lake Conroe edition, and then we also have the East Tex edition, which is the greater Cleveland area. It's really kind of the other side of New Waverly down to Cleveland. So anyway, just kind of connects us all. So
yeah, it's great stories, and folks, you'll see postcards all over. How many of those, if you're allowed to say, how many of those are going out now?
We have 25,000 of here in Lake Conroe, and then we do 20,000 in East Tex. So 70,000 copies a month. It's about 220,000 readers per month.
Boy, that is great. And you'll find really incredible stories of people in these communities here in Huntsville and the other communities that y'all serve. And I love it. In Georgetown, we had a similar magazine that's still going strong called the Georgetown View. And I love the magazines because they have stories. It's community focused. And that's why whenever Karen had reached out and said, hey, we want to help you get started here with Hello Huntsville, we're like, absolutely, because our visions kind of align and the same. And we found a way to help promote each other. And I highly recommend, if you haven't been in Postcards, do it, because people pick it up, they read it, the stories are engaging, and you learn about the great things happening here in our community.
I think my favorite thing to hear is when people say, I've lived here all my life and I didn't know that.
It's a good thing. That's what we just said we said that on the show earlier. We said there's people that still watch the show that have never, and I said, great, I don't ever want to get to a point to where people are like, oh, I've heard of that. I want people every day to say they've never heard of us, which is as long as we're growing, right?
Right,
so,
absolutely.
Well, there's a young man here that you know pretty well. I believe he's your son, if I'm not mistaken. Marshall, good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Doing well.
So another part of Altom Consulting, besides Postcards Magazine and consulting and marketing, is Altom Digital. So I wanted to give Marshall a chance to highlight what you've been up to, man.
Oh, it's been real busy. We've been doing a lot of programmatic display ads, which those are the ads you kind of see when you're on news websites, the kind of banner ads or side ads. Which when we sell those, we have to do 6 different ad sizes for iPhone or like phone screen, a tablet, and a computer. So it's real fun, but we get to target demographics and areas and all this stuff it's almost like geofencing, but not as expensive. So it's really cool seeing that. We've got our digital ads, which we can go into, like, do YouTube TV ads, YouTube ads, Spotify ads, so we can cover if your name goes on it, we do it. That's kind of the motto I've picked up, because we also we also help with SEO and can do Facebook advertising, which is different than just boosting a post or sponsoring an ad on Facebook. So lots of different things, and still fairly new. We're finishing up learning a lot of stuff. We've learned quite a bit by doing it, but we love doing it. We love helping the community, helping businesses. We felt that utilize people. We've been doing advertising agency. This is our 23rd year. I say us.
Yeah. Marshall was like 0 years old, right?
He was 3, 2 or 3 when we started. But one of the coolest things about our digital offerings is that we have a live dashboard that at any time you're able to log on to see how the ads are performing, where they are, who's looking at them, what area they're in, down to zip code, who's checking things out. So it's very it gives the advertisers a great look at what's happening. We can even see which ads of those 6 are performing the best. And so it's a really, we just had a presentation with one of our advertisers who's done their first quarter, and they were just floored. They were blown away at all the things that we were able to look at on the dashboard and look at how their stuff's performing. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. If you're on the dashboard and there's like a map, like a Google Map view, and you zoom in real detailed and you see like this blistering hot red spot over part of Elkins, that's probably Rick Boehning clicking away. So I always have to get Rick involved somehow in every segment.
Rick's just like,
even on the days Rick over at Tomorrow's Promise, even on the days that he's not here, we still get him involved in this show. So, but it's a great opportunity for companies to take advantage. And again, Altom Consulting, a small business here in Huntsville. Let's support them, just like we always talk about here on this show. Wanted to switch gears. Wanted to give you an opportunity to highlight that. And you can find, real quick, how can folks get in touch with you regarding these services? There may be someone today saying, hey, I'd like to take advantage of that.
Well, the digital website is in process. It will be altom.digital when it's finished. But our office is here, 293-1188. We'll get you in touch with us.
293-1188. Yep. Don't wait. So give them a call. Well, let's switch gears.
Yeah.
Do you think that YouTube may flag me, but I don't think these young men will mind if I show a clip.
No, I actually talked to them about being on this morning, and they are in a bus traveling to a show today. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, but so no, they would not mind at all if.
Let's show a clip of this. So
okay.
Here's what's happening on Friday, and then we're going to briefly talk about it. But here. And I hope that I'll be able to hear the audio. I hope that our friends will be able to hear the audio. But here it is. This is the 3 Heath Brothers. They are coming here to Huntsville. Amazing group that's going to be here. And I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit here.
Oh, they wouldn't bow to an idol. They wouldn't bend a knee. No, no, no. And in that desert, Nebuchadnezzar sentenced the Hebrew 3. And for the stand they were taking, they'd face the furnace fire 7 times hotter than it had been. Yeah, the soldiers threw them in.
I just saw that harmonizing.
There was a 4th man in the flame. Everybody watching, they were amazed when Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, they came out of the fire, and they didn't even smell of smoke.
So those guys give me a little chill just then.
I'm telling you.
When you hear those young men, the twins and the one other brother, they look like triplets. When they harmonize, it is the most amazing thing to hear that. And those young men are going to be live here in Huntsville. 6:30 on Friday.
Right.
And it's brought to you by Postcards Magazine.
Mhm.
What gave you the idea to bring this here, Karen?
Well, these young men, they have been, I think they signed with their record label about 4 years ago, but they grew up in church singing together. My dad, we grew up in a singing family, and my dad always said there's nothing like family harmony. And so when families can harmonize and sing together, there's just something really special about that. And so my husband kind of discovered the guys on YouTube, and so we have followed them for several years. And this really kind of started with me looking at their site and going, how can I get tickets to surprise Wes and take him to a show? And then I started going, why don't I bring the show here?
Bring the show to
And so anyway, kind of one thing led to another. I talked with their booking agent, and we decided we could do it. And so to do it at the first of the year and just kind of kick the year off, for one thing, we have such amazing youth in this community.
We do,
and these young men are just, their message is so powerful. One of the really neat things about the twins, and I don't know if they'll talk about it or not, they have a song called Choose Life, because one of the twins they told his parents when she was expecting them that he was not viable and that they needed to abort one of the twins. And the mom said, God gives life, and so I'm not going to do that. We'll just deal with whatever he gives. And they're fine. And so anyway, but they just have a really powerful story. And so we thought, what a great way to kick off the new year, and for Postcards to be able to just kind of give to the community and just come for free. We just need reservations because we're trying to, if you've got a youth group coming or something like that, or a group of friends or whatever, we're trying to make sure that everybody can sit together. And so we will have reserved seating, but you'll just pick your ticket up when you get there because we're kind of shifting people around to make it fit as many as we can. So
it's going to be great. We appreciate Postcards and Karen Altom and the Altom family for helping to bring this to Huntsville, and it's going to be a great night. A special announcement. We got about 2 more minutes here, Karen, before we close this segment. A special announcement. Whenever you sat down, you told me something, and so we're going to flip the script again this morning. What is it that you want to do this morning?
I have one VIP table left, which is seats 4 at the front of up near the stage. And so we're going to give away those 4 tickets this morning to a VIP table.
There you go. And all you got to do is text in the keyword brothers. Thank you for that, Karen, and Postcards Magazine. If you text in the word brothers, BROTHERS, if you leave out the S, guess what? The system won't pick it up and you won't win. But text in
3.
Text in brothers to 936-339-0139 this morning. And we've already had a few text messages. I saw Lisa Branch text in, so you may be. We'll see. But that, again, the VIP table being given away this morning, keyword brothers, on the text line there at 936-339-0139. Going to be a great night of inspiration. And
Kaye's over there texting.
Yeah, she's texting her. Hey, Kaye, I'll be honest with you. I will. It's cool if you want to text in on this one, Kaye. So don't worry. So you can text in.
You can text in.
You can text in
Everybody
this morning,
text in.
It's something that you mentioned, and I wanted to make sure that we mention this. Our worship pastor at First Baptist, Alan Barnes, is a tremendously anointed young man, and he made a comment at service on Sunday, and you just mentioned about how awesome our youth are. There is this mantra that the media really likes to project, that our youth are doomed, that there's bad things happening, there's no hope. And you know what I really feel like from the young people, especially in this community that I've seen, is that our youth are alive and well, and that they are going to do incredible things, not just here, but more importantly for the kingdom of God and believers. And I think it's so important that we uplift our youth and celebrate them, and don't get stuck into this mindset that, we're all doomed, because every generation probably says, I can't believe old Billy Bob doing this, That's not the truth. I think our young people are poised for great success, especially right here in Huntsville.
I do too. And, you're right about the generation. I mean, I remember I was a kid in the 70s, and I remember hearing about those hippies of the 60s. And my parents, when I was a little kid, talking about, these kids, I don't know, and now I'm going, hey, we're kind of some of those. I've got good friends. Some of those, you know.
That Rick guy with the
That Rick with the- yeah.
bell-bottom jeans and that clown hair.
I know. I somehow knew. So.
Marshall, are you at the point now? Marshall's a daddy, two children, and just a great guy. Marshall, enjoyed you and getting to know you over these last 4 years now, man. You embrace so many people in this community, and congratulations, by the way, on the Chamber Award this year, Volunteer of the Year. I wanted to ask you, as a daddy now, and do you ever sit outside and yell at people when they drive too fast? Are you at that age yet?
No.
It's coming, Marshall.
It's more of making sure my kids understand safety because we can't control what other people do. It's making sure we control our own actions.
Well, I throw sticks at like that movie Big Daddy. Did you ever see that one, Rick? Big Daddy, and the kids are like rollerblading. I try to do it with cars, but instead of sticks, I throw big logs out there in the street. So just kidding. I don't do that. Well, great to have you all this morning, Karen.
Thank you.
Again, find out more information about Postcards online, and let's continue to support local business. And 3 Heath Brothers coming here thanks to Postcards Magazine and Karen Altom and her family, Marshall. So great to have you all this morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And
Thanks
a shout
for
out to
the opportunity.
Wes, too.
Yes, Wes had a meeting this morning, so.
Yeah, well, we'll have to meet up again and go have lunch. It'd be a lot of fun. So, well, God bless you guys. Thank you,
Thanks.
Karen. Marshall, thanks, buddy. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Well, we'll throw that up on the screen one more time for you. Text in Brothers to 936-339-0139. Your chance to win the VIP take. Kay's going to text in again over there. She got her phone going. She's going to enter in 5 times this morning. Hey, why not? Just kidding, Kay. But text that in, and again, opportunity to win a table today for the 3 Heath Brothers. Also, we are giving away the $30 gift card to our friends at Cafe Texan. You can text in the same number on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line, January, for a chance to win $30 this morning. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a break, a word from more of our sponsors, and Rick and Kaye join us back on the other side as we continue to celebrate all things good happening here in Huntsville. Stay with us, friends. This is Your Huntsville.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce the upcoming addition of our 3rd location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori. Contact us today at tpms.life. 3rd location on Veterans Memorial, coming soon. Education you can trust.
Hey there, style enthusiasts. Rob Hipp here, joined by Abby from the Color Bar. Abby, what's the buzz for the new year at the Color Bar?
Hey Rob, we're kicking off the year with a fresh vibe featuring luxurious products like Oribe and Kevin Murphy.
Quality all the way. And what's the special offer for our listeners?
For a limited time, book any color service at the Color Bar and receive a fantastic gift with purchase. Elevate your new year with a touch of luxury.
Well, that sounds irresistible. How can our listeners grab this offer?
Easy. Visit colorbartx.com or call 936-439-4972 to book your appointment. Treat yourself to a fabulous new look and enjoy a special gift on us.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Color Bar, where luxury meets style. Visit colorbartx.com or call 936-439-4972. Cheers to a fabulous new look in the new year.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Welcome back at it, friends. Time now. Whoa, 8:26, Kaye. Good night. This is too late. You want to go back to 7? You'd do it at 4 if you could, right?
No.
What would be the earliest you could do it if we ever just had like a surprise wake up show, like a wake up show?
I'm usually at work around 6.
6, okay. So we'll do like 5:15. Call it a day. Maybe we'll have. You know what we should do, Kaye? This would be really fun.
Have 2 shows, an early show and a later show.
Well, I can't. If I didn't have children, when my children grow up, how about that? Marshall, I always use it. It's the greatest thing about having children, besides just the miracle of life and the family, is you can use the children as an excuse. So that's it.
I just use Rick. I use Rick as an excuse.
But we'll have a special one of these days. Maybe we do a very special surprise episode that we don't even announce, and we have some big giveaway. Wouldn't that be fun? Like an early morning special.
Just see who shows up.
What do you think, Marshall?
Hey, I'm game for it.
You know what we should do? We should do a live. You know what? Once in a while, we should do an actual live show and get Lois. I'm sure she would work with us over at Old Town Theater. We'd have an audience of maybe 1 or 2 people show up, and we'll do a live show at Old Town Theater. Wouldn't that be fun? I don't know what we'd talk about. Maybe we'd have Rick do jumping jacks, and I'd join him.
Do his magic trick.
Yeah. So.
He's got some magic tricks.
Morning calisthenics.
There you go. Well, Marshall, he's staying with us this morning. So Rick gave up his seat. That seat, by the way, costs $50, payable to tomorrow's promise. So just FYI, if you sit in that seat. We want to welcome you back in. Thanks for being with us here as we wrap up our final segment today on Good Morning Huntsville. A lot of great things happening throughout our community. We want you to be engaged. Go to the website at hellohuntsvilletx.com to find out more information. Saw something that's so funny. Cindy O'Mary was messaging me. She knew the old biker bar I was talking about in Georgetown. She said Hardtails. That's it. You never know who's watching this morning, so it's great. And Lois is there with us. Lois Stellick saying, "Good morning, sunshine. Whoop whoop. 3 Heath Brothers concert only a few days away." That's going to be a lot of fun, this concert. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. So, Marshall, are you going to be able to make it out?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. It's going to be a good time, and we're looking forward to giving those away.
I would hope he'd be there.
Yeah.
The whole family will be there.
I was going to say, it's kind of like voluntold, right?
It's part of my job duties.
It's mandatory. Well, Kaye, we mentioned earlier about progress happening over at the Academy, Tomorrow's Promise Academy, and I know that is just going to be a tremendous blessing to our community. You said, maybe another 150 children are going to be able to find education through this. Is that correct?
I think so.
They'll
tell us, they go in and measure. You have to have 30 square feet per child, and they'll tell us exactly how many children we can have.
Unless you're like a big child like me, and then it takes it down to I would take up a lot of square footage. Let's just say that. I saw something. I want to go back to this real quick. It was really interesting. I watched that movie Downsizing, and so I start researching. Would this even be possible? Just for the heck of it, right? Apparently, 100 years ago, people were a lot shorter than they are now. I was researching this, and something with Albert Einstein came up, and I want to say it was what is like 15 centimeters? What is 15 centimeters in inches? Is that quite a bit?
A centimeter, about 1.54 inches.
2.54.
So they were
2.54.
So they were talking about, there was something I was researching that said even 5 centimeters down would drastically reduce the carbon footprint here in for the Earth. And I was sitting there wondering, like, just a little bit smaller would help out that much. It was kind of weird, and I didn't go on this tangent of it because obviously I had other things to do that were much more important. But that's the trouble with YouTube and the internet is all of a sudden these rabbit holes start popping up. But I started thinking about, would it really be beneficial if people got smaller? I mean, health-wise, yes, I need to get smaller right here on the belt line. This morning I was like, good night, I look like a pear now. But, I understand that. But physically, people getting smaller, I'm talking physically, how much would that benefit? Taken away, would it reduce waste? I don't know. I'm happy with the way we are now. Of course, I want to be healthier and eat better. But that kind of ties in this morning to child development, too, and growth, and why it's so important that children have the right starting point whenever they're born, and the things that are important. And Kaye, we know that this research has been going on for a while now, and during the break we talked about the Wednesday wisdom. It's something that Bridget and I are very, very strict about with Braylon and even Caden. But these technological devices continue to infiltrate young people, and I wanted you to give some more insight this morning and some potentially new research that has came out talking about it today.
Well, I just shared a Fox News report that some researchers did on my Facebook page last night. And, I mean, everything from their emotional development to their intellectual development is being affected by electronic devices. The cell phones, the iPads, all that kind of stuff. And they are absolutely vehemently recommending that you do not have any of those devices for a child under 2 at all. And then over 2, I mean, very, very limited. And people are just, I mean, I've seen strollers with the babies having an iPad attached to the stroller and things, and they don't need that.
Yeah.
It's destroying our future.
Not to...
You know this, too.
Yeah, well, not to...
I mean,
For me to be transparent, I mean, we do... Braylon loves, like, Miss Rachel. We'll put on Miss Rachel. She loves that. But there's... But you're so right, because I see, even with us, and we don't do it when we go out in town or anything, but, for a little bit each day, Braylon will watch something, like a Miss Rachel. And I do believe she's learned quite a bit from that, like a little 2 counts to 10 now. Now, I will say this, she's learned more from reading. Each night we go through and we read. But here's the deal, and even with us, even as adults, think about when you get into a program, all of a sudden your brain is like, man, I'm so fixed on this, and you literally turn into a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I start slobbering on it.
It's like crack for the brain. It's like crack for the brain, and the algorithms and things like that are designed to suck you in and keep you in ghost and that only.
Someone had put out some information about apps, phone apps in these games. And it's so weird. Like, you have a game on your phone, the ads in those games aren't for products and services. It's ads for other games.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And these folks in Silicon Valley, credit to them, because they figured they cracked the code. They have figured out ways to get people. Like, there's this dumb game, Kaye. I don't even know why I play it. This is so ignorant. Here I am. I'm going to be transparent. I play this game not every single night. But what is the point of this? It's called Merge the Jelly. It literally, here's what you do, Kaye. All you do is you take these little jellies.
I've seen ads for that.
Yeah, and that's why I got it. And all you do is you merge the jelly. Oh, it turns into silver, right? Now I go silver to silver. Look, see, my brain is being rewarded for my hard work. But it's those things.
He'll be playing this the whole rest of the show.
Hey, man,
He's gonna start drooling.
Yeah, I start drooling, start shaking, man. But it's just it's legitimately these kind of things. And then the way that they get you with these, and I have fallen victim in the past. I don't anymore because I don't have a budget for it. Once you have children, your budget goes out the window. Marshall, you know this. It's like, oh, forget that. But they have all these ad purchases or in-app purchases. So like if I run out of, if I merge too much jelly, I'm over the limit and I can't merge any more jelly. But for $9.99, I can purchase more moves. And you know how many people fall victim to this? But the people in Silicon Valley and these developers have figured it out. And they're making billions off of this kind of junk.
My favorite one to purchase, or not to purchase, but to see available is, buy the ad-free version. So you don't get hit with ads, but then they still advertise their own products within it after you pay for ad-free. It's because it's them. They don't care.
And it's sad that I know this, and I know one of those games. It's called King's Quest. Because it just looks like, see, Kaye's over here like, Rob, shut that down. But it's like, oh, dude, and it shows these corny commercials, too. They're like, oh, dude, have you checked out this new game? No, dude, what is it? It's King's Quest. You don't have to pay for it. Anyways.
Yeah. One of my timelines showed up the other day on Facebook. 13 years ago, I was playing some game called Treasure Madness. Farmville.
Yeah, Farmville was a big one. So.
And I had asked for, an extra life or something. I don't know, but it was on my Facebook feed from 13 years ago.
Because you had to share it on your Facebook to get the extra life.
Yeah.
That was the original.
The original version of.
So even the Kaye Boehning has fell victim to this stuff. So thank you, Kaye, for your transparency this morning. Well, friends, we thank you for being on today. A lot of great things continue to happen throughout our community, and take Kaye's advice, especially if you have young people, even if you're a grandparent. And I will say this, I don't cast judgment because I'm a parent too, and I understand that things come up. And I know when a child is just kicking and screaming that it is very tempting to say, I'm going to throw this on to calm them down. But I've learned with Braylon to pick her up and hold her and just kind of rock her a little bit and tell her everything's going to be fine. Chill out.
It's very easy for that one episode of Miss Rachel to turn into 5 episodes.
Oh, yeah. And that's where you got to be careful about it. Yeah. You're exactly right. But, yeah, it's like, just be mindful of that because it does set up. And I know for a fact when I was younger, I got hooked on computers when I was in junior high because that technology at that time, now to me, technology is kind of boring. It really is. It doesn't change a whole lot. The coolest thing that I've seen in the last 2 years is AI stuff, that image generation and text generation. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been anything like that ever, and there hasn't been anything like that that's got me excited about technology in probably 10 years, maybe besides a drone. The drones are kind of cool. But I remember when I was, in the late 80s, mid 80s to late 80s especially, because that's when I started remembering, and then the early 90s, computers were just taking off. And I'll never forget when we went from the green screens on those old Apple IIe boxes that were these huge monstrosities of computers to the Mac 128s that were black and white. And you thought that was cool. And then all of a sudden you have 4-color, 8-color. And I'll never forget when 16 colors came out on a computer. It was like, oh, my goodness, we have 16 colors now. And that was when technology was great. And even then, it consumed me like crazy, Kaye. And even on school nights, I remember being glued to that computer monitor, and we didn't have an internet. It's like, what nowadays can you do on a computer without the internet? Nothing. It's like boring. But I
remember playing Pong for hours.
Yeah, just
Pong.
And I'll never forget there was times, and it's nothing on my parents because, they were like, whatever. I wasn't getting into any trouble. There's times where I had to go to school, and I'd be up all night on that computer, and I'd have to get on the bus at 7:15. I'd look at the clock, and it was like 4:30 in the morning. My dad would be like, boy, go to bed, because he'd hear me, and I figured out ways I could kind of hide, but I never really hid. I'd put like a blanket over my desk and the monitor, and you could still hear the clicking on the key because those keyboards back in the day clicked really loud. And I wasn't even doing anything. I was just programming stuff and thought it was cool. And then you think of these, then the World Wide Web that, I won't get political, but a former politician thinks he invented the internet. He didn't. Al Gore did not invent the internet. But the World Wide Web became known, and then browsers became known, and then the internet just blew up. Mm-hmm. And it was this whole new world. And I'll never forget the most fascinating thing to me, because I was a weather nerd when I was young, was I thought it was so cool that I could go to the local TV station and pull up the Doppler radar. I thought that was the coolest thing, being able to see the weather radar. Oh, cool weather. But it's very scary about this technology. And Kaye, I appreciate you sharing that wisdom with us this morning. Lisa Branch said the research is strong in the area of technology and its effects on children. She said, Kaye, you are 100% accurate. The APA recommends zero tech for kids under 2.
Yeah.
And I'll be transparent. We have tech for kids under 2. And it makes me rethink that, to be honest. So,
they also don't recommend Chromebooks and all that stuff for children in elementary school.
Really?
Yeah. But our education system is, giving them Chromebooks and things like that. And the ADA, they don't recommend that.
I'm really thankful that we had textbooks that we opened up. And I'll never forget, you'd open up that history book and there was like an old booger in there. And you're like, oh, gross. But it was there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you ever get one of those, Kaye?
No, thank gosh.
I got a couple of them.
But there's research.
There really was. It was pretty kind of gross.
There's a lot of research that what you have in your hands, and it also goes back to Montessori, but there's current research that what you have in your hands, the book you hold in your hands, that touch of the books and being able to even smell the books and things like that, that goes into your brain better than anything with Chromebooks or anything related to the computer.
I tried the whole Kindle thing because I thought it was cool, this e-paper, and it is neat. But I realized real quickly, I've got like 40 books on here, but I can't see them. And I did it for a couple of years, and I went back. I mean, I've got not really a whole lot here, but I've got them at home. But I started building up a collection. Even the books that I purchased on the Kindle, I went back and rebought them in paperback form because I missed having that page that you hold and that you read. And for me, having ADD and just having a really hard time focusing, especially post-COVID, my brain, it's really hard to focus now after I had COVID in 2020. And but I'll tell you, like, there's nothing that beats having that physical book. Like yesterday, Steph Valley gave us a book to read. I didn't take it home, Steph. I'll take it home tonight. I'm going to read this tonight. Good dad, Diego. But, I mean, think of this. Isn't this cool? Like, it feels good. The pages, they're slick. You can't get this type of feeling out of a Kindle device.
No.
So, and it was cool to think about because one time we have this 5-minute bedtime Bible stories that we read. And I forgot to bring it one time. And this was months and months ago. And Braylon got upset because she knows about that book. And I went online and found a PDF of it. And I had actually paid $5 for that thing. So they got me. And we were trying to read it, and Braylon didn't like it. Even though it was the same stories, she didn't like it. And once we got the physical book back, she understood it. So there you go. Lisa said, I can give you the explanation for what happens in the brain when you are looking at that screen. For anyone who wants to know, just reach out. It's Lisa Branch over at Learning RX. And
maybe we should have her on next Wednesday.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get her. Maybe we'll get her on.
Whenever she talks about brain stuff at any of the events I've been to, it's always fascinating to me because there's so much of the brain that people think they know that's just so different. And so I love hearing her talk about it, or even you talk about the childhood development. I'm like, it's crazy.
And Marshall, you were over at Learning RX,
oh, yes.
right? Yeah.
I'm a graduated client. I don't know how she wants to say that, but
can you do this? Are you down? Can you do this one?
I was a member of the President's Club. I don't remember doing this because mine was more the short-term memory, so it was a lot of the colors. So they have colors printed, like written word colors, so it'd be like the word green, but in red.
Oh, yeah, those are tough.
It's like, you have to say the color of the word. So it's a lot of brain exercising, and so it's a great program. I highly recommend it if you have any of those struggles. I went because it was short-term memory. It wasn't because I wasn't doing well at school. It was because I was studying so hard and then not remembering things. But I could remember things from second grade that were pointless to me. Like, I still remember things. Mom's like, how do you remember that? I'm like, because I'm wired that way. So, but she definitely helped me out. And so I highly recommend Lisa Branch.
Yeah. I'm heading over. I go over there. Yeah.
She said every program is different to meet the client's needs. So
I go over. I've been going over there, and you know what's weird is my left and right brain can't communicate properly. I think that may be the majority of us, but I've learned a lot.
And you know what? When you're a child, any time you reach over and cross the midline, you're helping develop the corpus callosum that connects the two brains. So when that's some of the exercises we do in Montessori is we have the children reach over and help develop those aspects of the brain. And They're just having fun. They don't realize it.
A month ago, one of the things I do with Lisa Roberts is training me, and she's awesome. And that's the thing, you don't have to be a child to go to these facilities. And Kaye, you know this. I mean, but you need, as a young person, yes, you need to be equipped with the right things to help later on with development in life. It's so important. For me, I wish I would have known about Learning RX when I was younger. But one thing that Lisa does with me is you take your fingertip to your thumb, each fingertip, and you go back and forth. And if it's like 1, 2, da, 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 da. That's easy, right? With one hand. But now do it on the other hand. Okay, this is easy, right? You can do both hands. But now go reversed. And that's where it starts messing you up. And I finally gotten to a point to where I can somewhat do that. And it's hard. Like, you have to go, and it's I'm like really trying to focus right now, but it's really hard. But I'll tell you what, at first I couldn't even do it at all. And now I catch myself, text and drive. I'll have to ask Deanna if this is okay, because I'll catch myself at a red light going, da, 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 da. It's definitely better than text and drive, but I'll catch myself doing that, And Learning RX is really helping me, and I'm starting to remember dreams whenever I used to not remember my dreams. It's so weird, and you think, like, how's me learning the presidents from pictures going to help me to learn to remember my dream? But it does, and Marshall, you've experienced a lot of this too.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely one of the things that Lisa had talked about at one of the presentations we were at, is talking about how it's a great benchmark to see where you're at. So if you have that COVID fog, or let's say you have head trauma that happens, and you don't have that benchmark, but she's talked about how there's certain ways that if you have a benchmark, your insurance will pay for certain things because you are not at where you were cognitively. And so even if you're just going in for an assessment, seeing where you're at, just in case something happens, I mean, I highly recommend it. I probably need to go back in for an assessment, because last time I was there, I was 15, 16. So it's been a little bit. So definitely need to go back in.
Well, didn't you fall and get a concussion?
Yes, I fell and got a concussion. And after that, it took a little while for me to feel normal, because it's like I was trying to recall words, and I'm like, I'm drawing a blank. And so definitely would have helped me there to see, like, hey, Lisa, can we do another assessment? Where am I at now? But yeah, I feel back to where I was. But it took about 8-9 months to get there. So it was a hard hit. But highly recommend. Definitely want to watch.
I know what it's like to get over, or try to get over a concussion. Oh my!
Yeah, you got yours shortly after mine. We were like,
it's been about 8 years.
Okay,
that's when I was thrown from the horse.
Yeah, I thought you had fell right after I fell.
Not that I remember.
Okay. Marshall, you need to go back. Marshall, you need to go back for the assessment. See. Well, friends, been a fun one today. Again, want to remind you about those tickets to the 3 Heath Brothers. Let's head over to our Granny Mary. I almost forgot. We need to head over to the text line. We will call the winner of the tickets for the 3 Heath Brothers. We won't do that live on the show, but we will go here for the Cafe Texan gift card, and we have a winner. Kaye, you see the randomizer here. Kaye was like, doggone it, it wasn't me. Sorry, Kaye. Y'all won last week. If Rick wins,
I have a habit though.
If Rick wins,
I go every Saturday.
Well, if Rick wins, do you automatically win? Is that kind of how it works? And
he shares. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's the way it should be.
He's pretty good at that.
Marshall, here we go, man. This is our text line. Let me turn the music off so we can hear them. Here we go.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, who is this?
This is Cecilia.
Hey, Cecilia, this is Ron McMurtry, Sam Houston State University. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, all of the current education that you've been doing at Sam Houston, we had a computer glitch, and we're going to have to reset all of your education. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. Do I get a refund, though?
Well,
all my tuition?
It's actually
all $30-something thousand.
Yeah, well, it's going to cost double. It's $60,000 now. Sorry. So we're just going to have to reset that. We had a major computer Y2K glitch from the year 2000. We never updated your record, even though you're 2024. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cecilia Hendrickson, the winner today. Cecilia, did you know it was us as soon as you answered?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
I have the info saved on my phone, so unfortunately it's harder to get prank called.
Cecilia, I'm joined here by Marshall, Altom, and Kaye Boehning of Tomorrow's Promise. And Marshall is with Postcards and Altom Consulting. I have to ask you a question. Maybe Kaye and Marshall can chime in on this. You're one of our few Sam Houston State University students that engages with this show. What can we do to get more Bearcats involved?
In the show, I think one way, I don't think very many students actually know about Hello Huntsville, so I know you can, it does cost a little bit, but you can contact the LSC and table there and hand out merch and bring awareness. That is probably one of the best ways because students love merch. And then they'll probably take like fridge magnets home and like stick them on the fridge and not realize they're doing like free advertising.
Awesome.
But being on the plaza can be helpful.
And then,
I mean, I think y'all are doing great. It's just that students don't really want to sit down and hold still and watch an actual video.
Oh, yeah.
Them, you know.
That's why the YouTube shorts are so important, right? What if
I like watching it, though, because, you know, I live in Huntsville and I grew up here, so.
Yeah, we need more Cecilias out there, and we'd be sitting pretty right now. So that's all we need. So,
Not too many, though.
Have you been to Cafe Texan before?
Yes.
Well, now
I think so.
Well, now you're going to go for free. You're going to go for free. I got a $30 gift card that's going your way to Cafe Texan. All right.
Yeah, and make sure you check out the museum while you're in there too.
Yeah, lots of historical facts and artifacts.
Make sure you check out the museum while you're in there. There are some really cool artifacts.
Yes, I have been to Cafe Texan. I forgot. I went with the chamber for one of the chamber breakfasts, and I forgot because I was thinking of the other ones that are called like Cafe. This is the other one, Farmhouse Cafe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Well, awesome. Well, there you go. $30, Cecilia. See, it pays. Early bird gets the worm. While your classmates are sleeping still and snoozing, you're watching Good Morning Huntsville and winning prizes. See?
Cecilia, it pays off, but I mean,
What are you thankful for this morning?
I'm thankful for heating. It's really cold outside, and I'm glad I can be safe and warm at my place. You know.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's going to get colder, but hopefully.
Don't mention heating here in the studio because it's always freezing cold in here. We don't turn on the heater here. I have a little foot one, and that's about it.
Oh, you went.
Well, y'all better be careful because it's supposed to freeze.
Well, Cecilia, thanks so much for your insight, and feel free to drop by any morning. We start the show at 7:30 now. We usually go until about 8:30 or 9, and so feel free to stop by anytime before 9 a.m. because I know you're an early bird, and pick up your gift card. All right.
Anytime before 9 a.m. is that what you said?
Yep, anytime before 9, if that'll work.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, have a blessed day, Cecilia. Thanks so much.
Y'all too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. She was like the first young person that started watching this show, and she stayed and we're 189 episodes into it. She's still watching.
Yep.
So, man, we got some sort of juice going on over here, Kaye, I guess. I don't know what we're putting in it, but thankfully Cecilia's
It's obviously
picking
not
it
the
up.
heat on my feet.
Yeah.
We need another one of those.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? I've had this heater. There was a young lady that used to work for me named Tara. Oh, you hear the electricity coming through? Zzz. Oh, that feels really good on my face, by the way. So there was a young lady that used to be my assistant when I had my IT business. We were so blessed. We got really busy, and I had to hire somebody to help me just with day-to-day stuff, not just run the office, but to help me with my schedule. And it would be 80 degrees outside. This young lady would complain that it was freezing. And I was like, what do I got to do to get you to quit complaining about it being so cold when it's 80 degrees? She goes, get me a heater. And so I bought 2 of these, and that's how old those things are. These things are probably 20 years old. And I have 2, and I don't know where the other one is. Somebody probably jacked it.
Not on my feet, that's for sure.
Not on your feet. But think about that. Some brand called this was like before Amazon was super popular. It's called One Touch. I think I got it at Home Depot on sale for like $20. And that's your old heater. I still have it here. And boy, my feet feel really good, Kaye. Really toasty. So, all right. Well, that'll wrap it up here on a Wednesday. We'll be back at it tomorrow with the Color Bar. Our friends will be joining us tomorrow to continue to highlight the good happening here in our community. I was trying to look to see what we have going on tomorrow, and I'm hoping that this is just a glitch because all of my appointments for some reason over the past week have just suddenly disappeared on my phone, and that has never happened. And so I don't know who we're having on tomorrow. It's going to be a surprise. I think it's Denise Winston actually bringing an exchange student. So she will be on, awesome. And then Carla Christian will be on Friday talking about that chili at the lodge, little chili. So it'll be a lot of fun. Marshall, thanks for being here, man.
Yes, sir.
$50 is all you got to pay, and just make that out to Tomorrow's Promise at the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. All right, perfect. By the way, thanks to, I think it was Clay Talsworth yesterday, as he won our $20 giveaway, and he said, I want to pass that on, and so we passed it right back on. I think now in the last couple of weeks, over $100 now raised for Tomorrow's Promise. So we appreciate folks that are just saying, you know what, if you want to take the 20, that's cool. But if you say you don't want it and you want to donate it, we have partnered up with Tomorrow's Promise and the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So that's where those funds will go.
Four more books for a whole year for children.
And it does.
Four children receiving books for a whole year.
Perfect. Well, friends, we'll have our winner too for the 3 Heath Brothers. We're doing that all through Friday as well. Big thanks to Karen, Altom, Postcards Magazine for helping to make that possible. One last thought before we go, because you know how I do this, Kaye. I always say, we're about to go, and then there's always one more thing.
30 minutes later.
30 minutes later, I want to leave you with some inspiration this morning. A lot of times we get so busy in business and even our personal lives, whether you're a parent, especially if you're a parent and have children, we all know this if you have children, but maybe you're single and you're dealing with a lot. But I want to encourage you this morning that if you feel weak and overwhelmed, there's a lot of times where, I tell Bridget, I just don't have energy. I'm drained. There's a lot going on. But this morning, if you're feeling weak and overwhelmed, I want you to remember that the Lord's strength is made perfect in our weakness. It's a Bible verse in 2 Corinthians 12:9 in the New Living Translation that reads, each time he said, my grace is all you need, my power works best in weakness. Hear that again. My power works best in weakness. So when you feel weak, know that God is with you, providing the strength you need to overcome. Friends, trust in him and let his power shine through your life. Just wanted to leave that with you today. Maybe you're in that situation. And we'd love to talk to you. All you got to do is reach out to us here at Hello Huntsville, and we'll connect you with the resources that you need, no matter where you're at on your journey. I kind of feel like there's a lot of people hurting, and call somebody and talk to them. Don't hold that inside of you. Talk to somebody. Get plugged into a local church. We got a great church at First Baptist. I know you're over at University Heights.
Come by and come by Tomorrow's Promise, get a hug.
Come by and get from the hug of Huntsville. What is Marshall, by the way? We need to come up with one like the hospitality of Huntsville, but something like that, or the friend of Huntsville.
Well, Greg, whenever I got the Warm Welcome Award the previous year at the Chamber Gala, he always called me Mr. Warm and Fuzzy.
Okay. Well, there's Mr. Warm and Fuzzy of Huntsville. So the warm and fuzziness of Huntsville is Marshall Altom. So there you go. We are building up. We're going to have a big board back here with all these names, Kaye, as we continue on. So
I bet Jamie could make you one.
He probably will, yeah. We'll have to get with Jamie Saucier over at Saucier Woodworks, just like his sign that he made for us. It's really beautiful. We appreciate that. Well, friends, that'll wrap it up here for a Wednesday. Big thank you to Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Visit them online at tpms.life. And let's continue to celebrate our children and celebrate all things good happening here in Huntsville. As I wrap up every single broadcast, reminding you this morning, friends, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truthfully need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll be back at it tomorrow, 7:30 on the dot here on Good Morning Huntsville. So long.